Hey folks, this is Vent with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly review ICBM. This is a game that you can find on Steam for about 20 bucks. So I've played a couple of games like this before. Most notably, there was a game called DEF that was released a long time ago, back when the dinosaurs roamed the earth. I'm that old. And in that game, you had to build missiles and defenses for said missiles because other continents would try to attack you, other nations would try to attack you. And it was sort of like a mix between defense and attack. Typically, those games are, the best defense is a good offense kind of thing. Well, anyway, I think ICBM here sort of heightens DEF a bit to a whole new level. And I gotta say, I'm really enjoying it. I'm not good at it. I'm saying I'm enjoying it. I played one game so far against the AI. I spent 2 hours, 3 hours playing a single game. And I even bypassed the tutorial because, I just wanted to get my feet wet and see what was going on. And I actually understood most, if not all, of what the game had to offer. My only complaint really was that there's no selection box. Like, the game is sort of like an RTS in the sense that you can click on units. Like, there's aircraft carriers, there's destroyers, there's cruisers, submarines. But you can't draw a selection box, select multiple ones, and move them. At least I couldn't figure out how to. But you have to click each individual one and move them around. So I didn't like the fact that there wasn't a selection box or one that was easily accessible, assuming that there was one in the game that I just simply missed. So yeah, there's an RTS mechanic in the sense that there's naval vessels that you're moving around. You're also constructing SAM sites and air bases and other defensive structures that will house various things. The air bases obviously will house your fighter units and your bomber units. Your aircraft carriers also house the aircraft units that are in the game. Your SAM sites will protect you somewhat from missile attacks and bomb attacks, nuke attacks, but they need radar, effective radar, in order to function. There's something called over-the-horizon technology in this game, and you'll be unlocking new technology as you play, and they will grant you bigger and better things. The radar structure that you start off with is really terrible. It only covers a very small range, but once you research, say, over the horizon, you'll be able to plop down these structures that encompass a huge area, and that's where your SAM sites really, really shine. So the general gameplay loop of this game is you're going to be doing two things at the same time, typically. There's production, and there's research, and there's a slider. You can adjust, okay, I want to do 75% construction, 25% research. And that will affect the times in terms of getting these things done. The research tree isn't grandiose, but it is large enough to make me think, what kind of approach do I want to go with? Do I want to upgrade my SAM sites first? Do I want to upgrade my cruise missiles? Do I want this MERV technology? Do I want to go for ICBMs, heavy rockets? Do I want to improve my aircraft by giving them better range? Do I want to upgrade my aircraft from the basic aircraft to advanced? Do I want stealth technology at some point? So I was constantly going back and forth thinking, well, I really want this, but I really want this. But it doesn't, this tech tree is not like Civilization in the sense that it's huge and, it's going to take you months to play. No, this is a game that you can, in theory, play. I mean, the game says, like, my press sheet said you can play this in a half an hour. I don't know about that. Half an hour, that's assuming that you have the game on fast forward. There is time controls, pause, play, ×2, ×3 kind of thing. But it's going to take you a while, especially on your first playthrough, to get a handle on everything. There's a number of different interface options, too, which is really handy. First and foremost, there's a way to turn the map into a globe. So if you don't like looking at a flat map, then you can turn it into a globe and rotate the Earth that way. That's kind of cool. There's also this planner that is in the game, and that's really cool. It's programmable plans that you can create, and then you can activate. So you can activate Plan Alpha or Plan Beta, whatever, Armageddon. And you can specify, okay, I want carriers to have this priority, I want this unit to have this priority and attack these units first, then these units second. So, like, this is I'm surprised that other RTS games, and even Ida Lee mentioned this to me, we were both surprised that other RTS games didn't have this kind of functionality in the sense that you can set up plans and then, like, you can tell this unit to do this unit to do this, I want this unit to do this, prioritize this, and then hit execute. And then everything at once does its thing. So you can coordinate your attacks all at once with this planner. And I just thought that was really cool. I typically don't see stuff like that in the RTSs that I play. And again, this game is kind of similar to an RTS because it does, you can click and move units around. But at heart, it's really just a global thermonuclear war simulator. There is more than one map, so if you don't want a global scale, there are some other maps. Unfortunately, the preview function doesn't work. So if I select another map type, the map preview doesn't update, unfortunately, to see what the size of the map is. That bothers me a little bit. It's not that big of a deal, but I'm just saying. It would have been nice to preview the map before I actually played it. There is diplomacy in this game, albeit very basic. You open up the diplomacy menu and you can click join another faction. It's like South America, East Asia, blah, blah, blah. You click on that and then they'll either say yes or no. But they can turn around and just stab you in the back. It's nothing like... even Civilization has always had a difficult time in getting diplomacy right. This game is as basic as it gets. You'll form alliances, tech trading, but they could turn around and just stab you in the back. It happens. My first playthrough was really intense. I was locked in Mortal Kombat with South America for the longest time, and then Russia kept sending these. I think they're called SSRBs. They're like these advanced submarines. That just are more powerful and can launch missiles and stuff, and I had destroyers lined up along my coast to try and prevent that from happening. South America, though, it was when I was done with my playthrough, I mean, I lost horribly, but South America was on the top of the list, but probably because it picked on me the entire time. I did get a few shots in, which was good. I managed to get ICBM technology. I brought my bombers in, destroyed his SAM sites, and then I went in on his silos. The silos are needed to launch the more advanced nuclear missiles that you'll be building. Again, you can build cruisers, which can launch missiles. There's, again, submarines, the advanced submarines that can launch nukes and the like. So there's like air superiority in this game that you have to worry about. You'll need carriers, you'll need air bases to prevent bombers from getting into your territory and just dropping bombs on you. You'll need SAM sites to try and stop bombs, and I was doing well up to a certain point. I was good early game and mid game. I was actually on top of the list. But then, all of a sudden, my SAM sites were not effective in stopping the nukes, so I'm guessing the more advanced nukes, they aren't able to get shot down as easily. And New York, all of my cities were getting bombed out of the water. I was in the negative points at some point. So my SAM sites became ineffective. I had no idea that this would occur. So I thought I was like invulnerable for the first half of the game. And then the second half of the game rolls around and then bombs are just getting through my SAM sites. I'm like, what is going on? I have all these SAM sites. Why aren't they shooting them down? So I'm still not good with the strategy yet. There may be some counters to the end game bombs, but I haven't figured them out yet. But I will say, from like a review standpoint, I really enjoyed this one. I really would like the easy mode to be easier, at least for first-time players, because even on easy, which is what I played this game on, it was a struggle to stay afloat the entire game. I want the enemy to be a bit more passive on the easy mode, so that I have a chance to spread my wings a little bit and just test things out. That's my only real complaint with the game. Only real complaint. And those other minor ones that I mentioned, no selection boxes, that's annoying. But for the most part, the game is complex enough to keep you engaged and to keep you thinking, but not overly complex to the point where it'll take you forever to learn it. Like, take Hearts of Iron 4. Hearts of Iron 4 and I still do not get along. I love the idea of the game, but I struggle with the interface. I can't figure certain things out. It frustrates me. This game, I didn't play the tutorial, and I was mid to end game doing very well up to a certain point. So this game is like one of those semi-easy to figure out but difficult to master kind of things. And I'm enjoying it. I recommend it. If you liked DEF CON, then definitely check out ICBM. It's worth your time. If you guys haven't already, subscribe to me on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can stay up to date with any new content I happen to publish. This is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.